A Wall Street Journal op-ed with this: the Durham prosecution show how the opposition research firm operates, not by producing real research, but by shopping seamy claims to law enforcement, then browbeating journalists into covering the quote-unquote investigations that Fusion inspires. Ohio Republican Congressman Jim Jordan is in focus, ranking member of the House Judiciary Committee and a member of the House Oversight Committee as well. Congressman, thank you for being in focus.
You bet. Good to be with you, Harris.
First of all, ahead of the trial, which starts on Monday, what are some of the headlines to you?
Well, I think the big takeaway here is 4 years ago, there was a bunch of us who thought this was all made up. Now we know for sure it was all made up. And on Monday, we start to get some of the details that we didn't know about, so that we haven't learned about yet. So I think that's sort of where this is going. We'll see what comes out Monday. But this idea, to me, that has always been key is, how did the FBI not know that what Zussman brought them, when he brought in this material, that he wasn't working for the Clinton campaign? I mean, he sends an email to Jim Baker, the chief counsel at the FBI. The next day he shows up and gives him information. How did Jim Baker not know that he was working for the Clinton campaign? So I find that the interesting part of all this. We'll see if that comes out in any way in the trial. But we begin to get the details Monday, but we have suspected, and now we know for sure this was the dossier was made up, and the whole Trump communication with the Alpha Bank, that was made up as well.
You know, just real quickly, because I want to get your take on how this factors in for voters, because that's what's been talked about. If some of the truth had been out earlier ahead of 2016, how would that have changed things? I mean, Donald Trump became president, but what was cooking that Hillary Clinton thought she could take advantage of?
Well, I think this whole narrative, and the Wall Street Journal editorial is exactly right. What happens is they make stuff up. They go to the FBI, or they'll go to the press, or both. And if the press writes about it, then they can take it to the FBI. Oh, the press is writing about this. They can get them to investigate, hopefully. Or more importantly, vice versa. They can say, oh, the FBI is looking at this. That's why Sussman took the information to the FBI, so then they could go communicate to the press. The FBI has taken possession of this information. They're investigating, and the press starts writing about it, and they build the narrative. Thank goodness the American people saw through it and elected Donald Trump in 2016.
Circular information and manipulation is what you're talking about.
And understand that you know, the Clinton campaign hires Perkins Coie, where Zussman worked. He goes out and hires Fusion GPS, who goes out and hires Glenn Simpson, who goes and talks to Russians like Danchenko, who's also been indicted, and they create this out of whole cloth, out of thin air, and they peddle it to the American people. And worse yet, Adam Schiff and the Democrats spent 3 years, $30 million, 19 lawyers, 40 FBI agents with the Mueller investigation going after the president, trying to stymie President Trump and his agenda to do work for the American people. That's the real harm here, and that's why this has got to be exposed so it doesn't happen again.
All right, let's get to this. This is another probe on Capitol Hill that could take a twist. House Democrats are now threatening 5 Republicans with legal action if they fail to comply with a subpoena by the January 6th committee. The House could vote to hold them in contempt and refer them for prosecution. Congressman Andy Biggs of Arizona says he's not budging.
I think this is an illegitimate committee and they don't really have the authority to issue subpoenas, in my opinion. So we don't want to dignify what they're doing. This has been a witch hunt from day one. This is an attempt to go after political enemies instead of trying to get at the truth.
You say you believe that the committee is illegitimate. Does that mean that you will not comply with the subpoena?
Well, I haven't even seen the subpoena, so how can I really can't tell you whether I'm going to comply or not.
Congressman Jim Jordan, will you comply with that subpoena from the January 6th Commission?
Well, Harris, I haven't seen it either. They haven't given me the subpoena, which is, you know, amazing because the press has had information, knowledge of this for you know, what, 24 hours almost now. I still have yet to see the subpoena. It has not been given to me. I did write a letter to the committee back in January when they asked us to come voluntarily, and I said, look, there are all kinds of concerns I have with this committee. The biggest one is we already know the committee's apologized for it, said all this fancy word, but it was basically we got caught lying because they took an email that I had forwarded to the White House Chief of Staff and they changed it, they altered it, and they presented it to the American people. So they took evidence, altered evidence, and lied to the country about an email I had forwarded to the White House. That tells you right there what kind of concerns we have with this committee. So we'll take a look at the subpoena when we get it. and we'll go from there.
Well, I mean, that's you and Biggs. And look, I'll keep asking. There are only 5 of you. When do you expect this letter to come? Just real quickly, and then I want to get to something.
Well, they got a letter out. The letter has been posted on their website, but we've yet to receive the subpoena. So look, it seems to me they were more concerned about coordinating with the liberal press than they were about actually doing things the way you're supposed to do them. So we'll deal with that when we get it, but we have yet to see it.
Okay. And Axios headline reads, January 6th committee opens a Pandora's box of retaliation and gives both parties some decisions to make. Quote, if McCarthy and his colleagues refuse, it would stymie the committee and pave the way for Democrats to do the same in the future. If they do testify, Democrats themselves will be pressured to comply with almost certain future Republican subpoenas, including on unsavory topics like Hunter Biden. Congressman.
Well, look, the Democrats have broken every kind of precedent you can imagine with what they've done to former White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows with that subpoena and that contempt vote. I mean, what they're doing at the Department of Justice to moms and dads, the formation of a disinformation governance board. I mean, they're doing things we never saw. The weaponization of government, and now the weaponization of this committee, where for the first time, Harris, never forget this, first time in the history of the House of Representatives, since we've been a country where the minority leader was not allowed to place on a select committee the individuals he or she selected. So you can just go proxy voting, in the chair, closing off the Capitol to the American people. On and on we go. Things we have never seen. This is just one more step in the crazy things they're doing. All the while, you have moms who can't get formula. You have 41-year high inflation. On and on we go. So think about that. Moms can't get formula, and everything they need for their sons and daughters, for their family, costs more. And oh, by the way, we're going to target you if you show up at a school board meeting advocating for your child. That's what this administration has done. And what are Democrats doing? Breaking every precedent, every norm we have that keeps our separate and equal branches of government operating the way they're supposed to under the Constitution.
Congressman Jim Jordan from the great state of Ohio, appreciate you being in focus. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Subscribe to the Fox News YouTube channel to catch our nightly opens, stories that are changing the world and changing your life. From Tucker Carlson tonight.